Hello and welcome to Most Departed. I've brought you to a sheltered valley in Gloucestershire where 7 million people died in 1803 by passing.
No, I was talking about this lady's passageway. That is when she's in the atmosphere. Oh, there we go. And then that's better, Sam. That's better. Bring her a bit closer. This seems to me at this moment to be quite delightful. They are in the atmosphere. The others will follow. Okay. The little beauty. Right, well, this is the atmosphere.
I've been here today and I can't aim really quick.
Gosh, it's going to open up here, and maybe we've got more than one force to contend with. It could be even stronger. We should get a warning quite quickly. There's a very, very strong negative force here. A very strong negative force. Oh. How dare you? Right, hold on. He's trying his own energy. That's nice.
Nothing seemed to be happening for a while until Derek started to shake.
What's that noise?
What's that noise?
Oh, what I'm actually smelling is like stale meat. Jesus.
Oh, there's more.
The walk rounds and it stinks. It was absolutely horrendous. The smell made me heave. It excited everybody and it was all, oh wow, you know, that's fantastic. That was really audible. I think we've got it on tape. It was great.
It was quite remarkable indeed. Yvette got very freaked out. She was really brave. The first sort of 2 or 3 farts, she was happy to stay there, but the fart was very loud. I mean, very loud indeed. It was too much for her.
I had a big fart to the point where my muscles in my stomach are really hurting. You know, like, oh my god, that, you know, we've been really, really freaked out.
Greetings. Yes, the D files. Oh yeah, well that could be another one. Is that illegal? I didn't realise. Maybe it is. Will I get told off? Oh dear. I don't know. Sweet. Excellent. Well, this is something that me and Ron have talked about for a long time, doing the ghost stream. But I fanned around with the AI art for so long that he might have gone to sleep. So it might just be me, so it might only be a short one. But it is something that I wanted to do in future because I just think over time people will turn up with their stories as well. So I've got a couple that I've ripped off the internet. And I've got obviously a couple of my stories, but I'll do those when I've got someone to talk to, I think. So I can go on with this story that I got from. I'm going to rip a lot of them from Where Did the Road Go? Because it's a really, really good channel that has loads of ghost stories on it. I was trying to find one of the Leeds Haunting because that's really, really good, and I've got that in a book somewhere. I might have to buy it again. I don't know where my copy is, but it's like £4 or something, so I might just get another one. But that's awesome. That's like about this house that over the course of 30 years, it's just the story of this one woman and her experience in this house. And in the end, that house fell down. The house fell down from the haunting. Can you believe that? I mean, I didn't believe it, but I read the thing, and it's amazing. And in the end, they didn't pull the house down. The house fell down on its own. It's just mental. So I can do stories, or maybe I could find a video or something. Since I'm on my own. So this one is about some partying ghost. So this is like, he saw 1 a.m. He saw some ghosts partying in my garden, as you do. So context for the last few months, I've been clearing it down, the old family home. My mum died suddenly coming up a year ago. So it was clearing out 50-ish years of old person's junk. It's taken quite a long time. There's some legal stuff. So myself and my brother can sell the house, which takes ages, but it's sorted. So I had to do it all on his own, clean the whole house garden, pack up the large collection of books before moving out. So 1 a.m, he's on his holiday from work. I spent the last 2 days tidying and packing up stuff, cleaning, binning and recycling. It's been awake for about 30 hours at that point, and I'm finally ready to go to bed for a bit. Get up one last time to go to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Look out the kitchen window. In the space between the garden and the pavement, I see 3 people dancing. There's another person lowered down in the front garden also dancing. I'm scared for a moment. I live in a very quiet cul-de-sac where nothing dramatic ever happens. There are never any people partying here. This is anomalous. I keep looking at these dancing people. They seem to be drifting in and out of one another. Am I looking at ghosts? I run into the bedroom. I look out of the window. Oh no, the dancing ghosts are still there. I decided to go to bed because I don't like ghosts. An Edgar Allan Poe story. I don't know. This is from a guy from Scotland, this. So in the they don't like ghosts. They're not there in the morning. So the context is the pareidolia. So I was sleep deprived for the first time in 30 plus years since it was impaired with the human family. This house was being torn apart and rearranged. The weather was very hot. I was gardening for quite a long time. The state of affairs generally unusual in Scotland. I also got called to jury duty, which in the end I didn't have to go to, but it stressed him out. So I was running on stress and adrenaline for a few days. No booze or drugs. Going to get new glasses as my eyesight was getting a bit blurry. I did not have glasses on when I saw the dancing people. People walk dogs past my house and I see them out the window just fine. Final context, a few seconds in, I was sure I was hallucinating, but at the same time, paradoxically, I felt as if something was waiting for me. Hello, old friends. Liminality, anti-structure and hauntology. I feel like Jeff Ritzman was whispering in my ear and saying, there it is. Right, so Jeff Ritzman is a very interesting character. He's passed away, but he's a guy who was like, I saw him through this Where Did the Road Go people, and he's really interesting. So yeah, that's the story of someone who was tired and saw ghosts. I'm not going to disprove something just because someone's tired when they see it, because it's weird. Like sometimes that stuff, it's like that hallucination stuff. It does help. I mean, so what happened with me once with a UFO? I don't know if I've said this story before, but I was I was tripping balls big time. But what happened was I was out with my sister and her fella at the time, and he didn't take anything. He was just not. He was completely sober. So he was the driver, and he took us out, and we were both tripping, and we went out to the countryside near us, and we were on the main road, because it was like the middle of the night. It was like 3 a.m. It was like this time, sort of 3 a.m, and we were on this like really lonely road. There was no one else there, and we were just parked up and just having a bit of a trippy time in the countryside at 3 a.m. And my sister was juggling with those glowing juggling balls. So I think that might have attracted attention, because then the coppers pulled up. No, sorry. Then we noticed the UFO, and we were stood watching it, and it was just like moving around on the horizon, just moving around. There was just nothing you could say about it. It was like orange light that was getting like sort of brighter and smaller, and it was just moving randomly. At first we were like, is it a helicopter? Because it was moving a bit like that, but then it just wasn't, and then it'd like zip a little bit, and then and it wasn't your eyes, do you know what I mean? It was just like zipping, and then it'd move around a little bit, and then it'd zip off again a little bit. But it was quite distant in the horizon. We could see a full sky because we were in the countryside and we were high up, and it was just there, like we had the full view of it, so it wasn't like going out of view or anything like that. But we were tripping balls, like I say. But there was like, and I wouldn't have given it a second thought, but my mate was there who was completely sober. So he was like, yeah, man. And we were just watching it going like, what are we going to do? Like, and then the coppers pulled up then. Like, what you doing? All right, Ben Spastic. Yeah, they were like, what you doing here? And all that stuff. And we were just like, we're just watching this UFO here. And we like pointed it out to him, and they just sat and watched it with us, and they were like, and they didn't say anything. They were just like watching it, and they were like, and it was really uncomfortable, because I could tell that it just made it really, really. I mean, we were tripping for a start, and then they just didn't know what to say, and that made me feel uncomfortable. And so what happened then is it kind of turned into a helicopter and flew off, right? But we'd been watching that thing for like 20 minutes. It was definitely no helicopter. And then the police were like, oh, all right, it was it, because we were like, what is it? And we were like trying to think of an explanation so we could tell those guys so they could fuck off. And it ended up and then it turned into a helicopter and flew off in front of all of us. And there was like 5 of us, there were 2 coppers, and then there was me and my sister and this guy. And the coppers were like, oh, there you go. Oh, all right, it was a helicopter. And we were like, all right. And everyone was just so relieved. Do you know what I mean? Because then they could go and we could go and we could get on with our days. But they didn't mess around with us or anything. They were just like, all right, see you later. Enjoy yourselves. They didn't mind. I suppose they could tell that we were just quietly just doing whatever we were doing. And also they were freaked out. They were massively freaked out by that thing. And it was just a really weird one, because like you tell people afterwards, like, oh, we're on mushrooms and we saw a UFO, and then it turned into a helicopter and flew off. And it's like, well, that's fucking crazy, isn't it? But at the same time, I did have some witnesses. I had 2 coppers who were reliable witnesses on that one. So when it comes to tiredness and hallucinations and ghosts, I don't necessarily throw it out, because it could be part of the thing that you need to do to see beyond the veil or something. I won't necessarily just like I say, I don't believe or disbelieve anything. It's just like probability and what's it like, you know what I mean? So that was one of mine. But yeah, maybe we could put on a bit of Jeff Ritzman's stuff, because he's really good. Because I think this one's going to be a short one, because I think Ron's not going to make it. So I'll probably just do it for like an hour or something. So we can put a bit of Jeff Ritzman on. And I did find a haunted house hidden object game. But I haven't downloaded it yet. Or is it actually, it was on an app or something? So I'm going to have a look for that one for the next time, so I can be playing that while we're doing our ghost stories. And we can watch the Most Haunted and things like that, because Most Haunted is brilliant. Like, that was the series that started it all. So all the ghost hunting series and everything that came up in the sort of, when did it start? Like 97? So from the early 2000s and any of that stuff, it was all inspired by Most Haunted. They followed the format, everything, Ghost Hunters, all those people. Most Haunted started it, and they're the people who did parody Most Farted. And it's all fake. Most of it is fake. And the guy who was the medium in that got proven to be a fake. But a lot of people still kind of believed some of it, because they're idiots, I think. But I think that Derek Acorah guy, there might have been something to him that was real, but he did get proven to being a fake. I think he just got himself. Maybe he started out real, but then by the end of it, they'd proven it. So that they had a skeptic on board called, I've forgotten his name now. They had a skeptic, and he was like the resident Dana Scully, and he'd be the counterpoint to everything. And he set it up where he planted all this information, and they had a conversation where they knew the guy was listening and stuff like that. And they just had this conversation early on so that he could hear. And then they planted some information in places, and they'd see if he'd take the bait. And they did. He just fully took the bait when they did a full show and did a full performance based on these ghosts that they'd been made up. And then the name of the ghost was an anagram of Derek Faker, but I can't remember what the actual name was. It was so long ago. I used to watch it back in the day. So maybe it was mid-2000s, maybe it was early 2000s. It could have been late 90s. So, we could put a bit of that on at some point. Maybe we could put the fake ones on. And we could have a look at and have a laugh at Derek Acorah, because he is fucking hilarious. I always liked the Most Haunted ones best, because it was at the time, everything on TV, everyone was just pretty people. Yeah, that's it. They do. They usually just plant people. And with Most Haunted, they do all sorts of little tricks, because it's just those guys and they're videoing. So they'll just, someone will throw. It's really simple to make. You're just in the dark. You might have a group of people, and there might only be one person in on it, or two people in on it, and then there's someone else chucking stones or something, and that just freaks everyone out. You just film everyone freaking out, and it's completely, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh, Colin Fry. Have you ever seen him? Oh my God. Let me see if I can find him. What's his name? Oh my God. Am I showing my screen am I? It says I'm showing my screen am I? No, it says I'm not. What is he called now? See if I can get this guy. I've forgotten his name. Parasite. Okay, so we'll have one of these on. Proper dark. When people, yeah, that's it. That's what it is. It's Blair Witch Project, basically. That's what they did. I think that's what they took inspiration from. It was around that time. It was just after that they started that up, and it was a proper cottage industry. So it was just them and their mates. I think everyone who was on there was just literally, there was her and her husband, and they ran it, and he bankrolled it all, and they made the production company. They did everything, and so she started it off, and they got a medium in. They got the guy who was the skeptic, and then everyone else was their brother, their sister, their mate, their makeup artist, just proper, just got a little ragtag gang of people. Yeah, exactly. Massively cheap budget. So it's really clever, actually. They were just yeah, let's do it. So, and they went on for years. They had 10 years. In fact, they are still doing live shows, I think. I really want to go to one. I'd really like to go to a Most Haunted live show, even though it's 20 years late now. It would still be worth doing. So I will share this. Stop screen. Share screen. I will get better at this. like this, Tommy.
Thank you.
I'll put the subtitles on for this. You're going to need it.
Day. Welcome to Parasite. Let's see where the spirit takes us. Okay, can someone understand, please? I have here with me a male presence who, at the end of his earthly life, was unable to communicate for quite a long period of time.
Yes,
You were, darling.
yes.
Okay. And can you understand that he's showing me this? This is quite grisly, but a
Yeah,
head injury
exactly.
or some other kind of damage.
They
to
make
the
some
head.
rape money off it and all.
Yeah. He passed over because of a head injury.
I'm right in saying this is quite a grisly thing, was it? It's quite a bad memory for you. Yes. And am I right in saying that he had to be let go? That the machine had to, this is a really callous word for it nowadays, but the machine had to be switched off and he had to be let go.
The doctors told us that the only thing keeping him alive was the machine.
Okay, that makes sense because he's been repeating this same line over and over and over again. And do you want me to tell him?
Oh, man, this is...
He's been telling me one more day, one more day, one more
Oh,
day.
my God.
He was going to make it, darling. He was going to make it if he just held on for one more day. What are the football tickets?
What?
He showed me these football tickets.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Or theatre tickets, or
Yeah, I was always trying to talk him into coming to the theatre with me.
that's them. He showed me these theatre tickets because he's
Hey,
telling
up
me
Don Kingsley,
that
Donkey Kong
before he
Shadow.
passed over, he had bought you these tickets and he was going to surprise you with a trip to the theatre. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? But that's ripping him up now and chucking him at me.
Oh!
Looking at you. One more day, Dad. One more day. One more day. That's him. I'll leave his thoughts with you, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, like that. That's what it's like. John Edwards! John Edwards, that's who he's taking off. Yeah, I remember him. Oh, God, I remember watching him on, like, cable TV. Oh,
Just go over this one.
oh, it's doing it again. He's going on to another one.
Lord, sorry, kid.
Oh, man. Yeah, John Edwards. And there was another one as well. There was Colin Fry. Colin Fry was our one. Was the British one. Oh, God, yeah. He was proper. That's the guy who he's taking off. Because John Edwards was a bastard, weren't he? He was doing that shit. Obviously, that was emphasised. Excuse me. That was emphasised, but like that's the sort of shit that guy used to do. You know, like that's fucking psychopathy again, isn't it? People just like preying on people. It's crazy. But I actually used to go to a spiritualist church, and swear to God, she fucking said it, man. She knew. She fucking said, "Oh, you've got a light bulb that's going off in your house that's flickering," and it was true. There was a flickering light bulb in my house, and she was like, "Oh, someone's come to tell you." Like stuff to do with the house, you know, like really banal stuff to do with like a flickering light bulb in my house and stuff. And that was my thing, is like, why do they come back to tell you that you've got like, I don't know, something really lame wrong with your house? John Connor, what you mean? The future John Connor. It was called the goodies. The goodies with Bill Oddie. I don't think they did any ghostly things. Okay, Cody up. Get a coldie up. I think I will actually. I've got a Corona extra to drink, so I'm going to have that, I think. But yeah, I went to the spiritualist a few times, and I think I might go back to get some stuff for this thing. Maybe I could start going back because I used to go like twice a week at one bit. It started because there was a spiritualist place just around the corner from my old work, one of them from a long time ago, and the guy I used to work with was into it, so we used to go after work, and there was a pub next door, so we used to do both. Have I played Donkey Kong Country? No, I haven't. No, I've only ever played what's it? The Diddy Kong Racing. That's literally all I ever played on that. And it was a long, long time ago as well. At that, it was actually, I remember playing that the night of the World Cup when Germany beat England. I can't remember what it was. It was a long, long time ago anyway. Chin chin, and cheers to Mr. Ben Spastic. Are you off, Ski? See you later. Yeah, so the mediums there, they took me on, they said to us, because I think we'd gone a few times, because we used to go as like, we'd go there for an hour and then we'd go for a drink afterwards, and that was like our social thing, and it was just a fun thing to do. But yeah, because we went regular, they asked us if we wanted to be part of this thing where it was psychic development thing course, and you went every week, and I think it cost $5. It might not even cost anything, it might have been free, I think, and you just had to put a donation in, and they do different things. We did remote viewing, we did the thing where you hold a thing and you get an impression from someone, and it happened with me. So the woman who I was reading, and it was really nerve-wracking because you had to do it in front of everybody. No, I wasn't, but I did protest against Scientology when they tried to give it charity status in the UK. I went down to the protest for that, and it was fucking hilarious. It was a right laugh, that. Everyone was wearing V for Vendetta masks, and it was well before they were a thing. It was just for Scientology in those days, for the anonymous movement. And yeah, that was a whole heap of people all in fucking V for Vendetta masks, all off the internet, all just going down there. It was fucking hilarious. So no, I've never been in, but I would like to go and get one of those tests, I think, one day. The free test that they do. I will try it. There's one in London. I think there's a few in the UK, in the big cities. Might be one in Edinburgh or something. So yeah, I would definitely pop in, I think, one day. Maybe I could do it as a thing for this, some sort of reporting back. Yeah, man, go and just get the thing and like get the phone on record, like, but just have it in my pocket and that'd be fucking cool, wouldn't it? So I might do that. But yeah, like the spiritualist place is wicked. Oh my god, the differences, like, because you'd get people who were in the congregation doing their readings and the things that came to them, and that'd just be like mad old ladies, and they'd just be reading off the back of their eyelids, which it's as valid, I suppose, as other things, but it was funny. We used to call this woman Crazy Horse because she'd just go on about horses all the time. But there were a couple of people who seemed to be genuine, or they thought they were genuine anyway. But the guys who they got in, the professionals who they got in, like for the sermons or whatever, they were the ones that got it with me. They definitely got me spot on with one of them readings, and it got me. I was like, oh my god, like, she did. And I don't know if she can't have just read me though with the flickering light bulb. Probably not. I doubt he's hate watching this one. Oh, who cares? Well, no, exactly. Oh, well, this might be him now. This is one of them. Because coming on just to do this. I don't know where he is. But this is the Buttocks Memorial stream because he wanted to do a ghost stream and we never did it. So I'm going to do a ghost stream once a week, and it's going to be called the Buttocks Memorial Stream. But yeah, since Buttocks, it is the Buttocks Memorial Stream, I do have an announcement which he would be very happy about. So today I realised that I've got kittens, and I didn't know, and I don't know if it happened while I was on holiday or whatever, but I had this cat that was kind of half living, half not living in my house. She lived in the garden, but she kept coming in the house, and I was hoping that when she had her kittens, because I never got a chance to get her spayed, because she was in and out of the house, and she's had kittens in the house, so I'm really happy about that, because that means I can spay them and I can get them, get them all their injections and everything like that. So I don't know how many there are, because I've not seen them, I've only heard them. She's right at the back underneath the bunk bed, and I don't want to disturb them. Yeah, I'm going to give her about a week, and then I'm going to, but she's got like a whole buffet of food out in there. Yeah, spring has sprung, and there's a couple of cats in the garden that are going to be having babies as well, and I wanted to get those in as well, to let them have their babies indoors as well, but I think I've missed the chance with them. But it's fucking freezing, so I do feel sorry for them. Yes, hi, I just think you're a Canadian gamer. Yes. And is it true? Is it true, mate? Well, do you know what, Volp? I think that's you. Or Proportion. I thought I'd got over it, but then I banged my head very, very gently on the back. And it's really giving me some jip, actually. Oh, it's not true. Okay, well, you would say that, though, wouldn't you? So, yeah, I banged the back of my head, and it was really like, just the normal, like, bump that you would have. Oh, here we go. I'm not supporting a raper. All I'm doing is staying open-minded, which you guys cannot see past, because you guys are card-carrying cult members who are just kissing Dean TV's arse, and you'll just do anything and say anything to try and keep in your daddy's good favour. So I am not subscribing. I'm not joining your fucking cult, mate. I don't care if you want to normalise everything so that everyone's a fucking idiot like you are. But we're not. No, not at all. You're the one who's doing that shit. No, not at all. I support someone who was massively attacked out of nowhere and was obviously in a situation where they needed some support. Has no evidence of his false accusations. What does that mean? Do you mean like he's got no evidence to prove it's false? Or no evidence to prove it? My point is, if she was that bothered, she can come and tell me herself. That's what I'm saying. And that's all I've said, and you're saying I support a rape. But no, you're the one trying to curry favour with Dean TV by doing that. And, oh, look at the state of this. So you're just going to keep harping on the same shit, even though I've answered your statement many times. If you're just going to do that, I'll just hide you, because you're just spamming, because you're just saying the same thing. Can you move it on to the next stage? We can just move it on. Don't have to be moved on very much. We can still carry on talking about the subject, but you will have to move it on from literally doing the same fucking message in different writing every time. Let's be raper on text. I don't know, because all that stuff came out of someone who was sat on Dean TV, the biggest fucking loser's knee, because all he can do is hide behind strangers and their sex scandals, because he is so fucked up sexually. I've been watching videos on these fucking idiots. It's all fucking autoerotic fucking bullshit. In fact, let's have it on, shall we? And then you can hear about fucking Dean TV and why he does this shit and why he's obsessed with these fucking idiots, right? Let me see if I can find this fucking thing. I'll show you. And then you can fucking tell me why I take information rather than propaganda. And it's his latest video. And we'll have this on, shall we? Very interesting. 26 minutes. Okay, I'll load it up.
Hi, my name's Kim.
Oh mate, yeah, and it's like Evil said, he's got no mates in real life. My hatred is blinding you from the facts. Well, mate, you're the one who's come on and said the same thing over and over again to force your propaganda, which has come from someone else, or it might just be you, Dean. But, you know, it's literally you're parroting someone else's shit. I'm making my own mind up. I'm asking for all of the information to be presented by the actual people to me for their own reasons. Then I'll take it. While they're sat on someone else's fucking knee, I'm not fucking taking it. Just because you're one who sat on their knee doesn't mean that I'm going to be that person. Oh, I won't be surprised. I really won't be surprised because do you know what? Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel, that's probably the only time he actually sees any blokes in real life because Evil was spot on. He will surround himself with weak men and women who he can bully. And I've seen evidence of that because I know how this shit goes down in these offices, the office wonders and the fucking politics that goes on in these fucking places. And I remember when he went and I did a fucking interview with his co-workers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he bullies everyone around here as well." And you're like, "Yeah, mate, yeah." There was no real humour in that laughter. That's reality. He does bully all those guys. He does walk into that office and fucking order them all around because I would imagine it's mainly women in there. Because he said it himself, like, "Oh, if you're a bloke, you get paid loads, you get loads of attention," and he said it before to me when he was showing off about being a butt wiper, and he was saying about how he gets special treatment for being a bloke and how he gets paid more for being a bloke and all that. So he storms into that fucking office completely taking the piss, and that's why he does it, because he can't be around real people, as we know. So let's watch a little bit of this proportion. You're the delusional one, and you're going to see how your daddy is delusional right now. But you've probably run away, haven't you? Because you can't stand the truth. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you will do. It's bare minimum. It's bare minimum. You might get a couple of quid extra for being the only bloke. Although I don't know why or how you can do that, but it's different in America, isn't it? But over here, there's a little thing called equality. Right. So I will do this. Is this right? Yes. Okay. Is it showing all right? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have to watch a shitty advert, I'm afraid. So I hope proportion's still here.
That narcissists are crazy mates. They are unpredictable. And because they're unpredictable, they're unreliable partners, they're irresponsible, they cannot be held to account, and so on and so forth.
I've never lived in the Forest of Nottingham. I have lived in forests before, but not that particular forest.
And the behavior is not consistent across domains. And
I could go to Nottingham Forest. I could do some like ghost hunting, like they do. Take your camera and be like,
First of all, there's a lot of confusion.
Puddle of Pizza, I have no idea. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. I have no interest in cooking to Ricardo.
If you become aware of a few ground rules.
Yeah, all right, Harold. Yeah, me neither.
I will attempt to provide you with a
boring as fuck, but I'm trying to educate his idiot followers. Because they are literally sat on his knee and they don't realise how they're in this fucking cult. They just don't realise how they're being brainwashed. Today we were watching the Titan thing and the guy, right? So this is how far this brainwashing can go with these people. This is why you can have understanding for the cult members, because you have, like on the Titan thing, they had a screen where it was literally telling them how many cracks were already on it and how many cracks were going on it as they were going down. So it's like crack, 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 crack all the way down, and they've got it right in front of their face telling them that. But the guy's brainwashing them to say, "Oh, it's safe, it's completely fine, it's fine." These guys are engineers; they know what those cracks mean, and they let it all go through. Marvelous Mervo, hello, never heard of you before. Hello, nice to meet you. Yeah, so the brainwashing is strong with these people because they are very good at picking them. How did Dean Docs hire? Well, a lot of it was that he walked in. He just walked in and he told them all about it. So he's talked about his past relationship. He talked about. See, the thing is with Dean is he doesn't ever have any ideas of his own. He just takes them off other people, and that's because they don't have that creativity. It all has to be facsimile. They don't come up with their own stuff ever, as we've seen. Have you ever seen Dean come up with anything himself? In fact, we didn't we, the funeral of Tony? What a lame fucking piece of shit that was. So that was the one time we saw him come up with something himself, and even then it was hiding behind someone, and it was on the back of Darius and what he was doing. So again, I wouldn't even class that as it. At least he tried then, but he failed big time. Big drama. Yeah, he came into it and he just kind of, he'd said about his relationship, he'd said about his past, he'd said about, he'd been very open and honest, and that's why I was always all right with her, because I'm like, you're coming in, you're opening your heart to everyone. I don't think it's a very good idea, but if that's what you've decided to do, then fair enough. And they just went mad for it. Oh, Leon Screas, hello. Hello. You need to tell me what you want for your AI thing. I thought about doing you a video actually. Yeah, he did self-docs pretty much. Well, this is the thing. This is what he does, isn't it? Because Dean, he might pay someone to do it occasionally, but really he just takes the low-hanging fruit. He just takes the easiest option to hide. Yeah, that's it. Harold, we see Albert isn't a narcissist. Like, he just isn't. Like, that's the thing. He just isn't. He comes up with shit. Although he's got his own shit going on. He is a massive psycho or whatever. I don't know what's going on with Albert, but I wouldn't say it's full-on narc shit. It's just so different to Dean, isn't it? As if you don't know. As if you don't know Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel. As if you don't know. This is it. I don't know. He says he's not Canadian gamer, and he says he's not Buttocks. I was hoping that if it was Buttocks that I might be able to flush him out with my kittens. So I've got a video, Buttocks, if you're around. I do have a little video I've recorded of the kittens, just the noise that they made. I didn't actually get a visual on them. Yeah, victim of addiction. Exactly. That's what it is with Albert. Albert's like a decent person, but he's just had a really shit run, I know. He's had a shit run. Well, I say decent person, and obviously he's had a hard paper round. It fucked him up, Is it? Do you know for a fact that is, Dean? Because if it is, I'll get rid of him. He can fuck right off. Seriously. He can fuck right off then. Have we got confirmation that this is... I've never even heard of this person. Marvellous Mervo, what do you say? Are you Dean or not? What's your answer? To be fair, you can fucking stay if you want, because you can watch this. Watch this, Dean. This is you. This is about you. And learn. Learn something, man. Fucking learn to live like a real human being, man.
Here are the rules. The variable behavior of the
okay. No worries.
Only superficial, only apparent. Actually, the narcissist's behaviors, multiple, are very consistent and very predictable.
We all know that, don't we?
Rule number one, optimize allocation of resources. The narcissist regards himself as a treasure, as a cosmic gift. His time
Ain't that the
is
truth?
invaluable. These resources, scarce as they are, should be cherished.
Oh, Harold. Oh, it's funny. At least Albert tries to be funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, but a lot of the time he copies as well. I think that's to do with the the addiction, because his memories is the same as that. There's a lot of similarities, because with narcissism they do have amnesia, because they're trying to pretend not to be themselves a lot of the time. Well, an addict is seeking oblivion a lot of the time, isn't it? So it's a very similar thing. It just comes from a different place. It's all CPS-TD shit. Just people trying to avoid the pain that they have suffered in the past, one way or another. Either it's by psychologically, as a child, disappearing off into a fantasy world and then killing your original self off, then replacing it with a fake self, and then spending all your energy trying to uphold that fake self, and through that becoming a predator, which then just sees everybody as someone who they can exploit or be threatened by. And so with someone who's in an addiction, they've physically been knocked about a bit, and their body's obviously reacting in that sense, plus they're seeking oblivion, plus they're fucking their head up. So they end up with very similar behaviors, in my opinion, because it's coming from a similar place. Yeah, that's it. I can't believe Albert's let Dean onto his channel. Like, has he not seen what's happened to everybody else and what he did to everybody else's channel and his own channel before? He's such an idiot. Really. Oh, right. Well, Puddle of Meat Pizza can fuck right off then. Whoever you are, you're just being a twat anyway, so fuck off. Fuck off, you knob. If you don't like it, why don't you just fuck off? This is the thing. No one's forcing you to be here, Dean. You lonely ass bastard. Fuck you. Right. And if you want to stay and watch, you can watch, because you can fucking learn something, Dean. You fuck up. Sexual deviant, mate.
Ultimate considerateness. So, optimize allocation of the narcissist's resources. If the narcissist suspects at any point that you're being wasteful with his time, with his money, with his efforts, with his knowledge, with his presence, with his influence, with his contacts, anything he can do.
I doubt he'd want to watch this, though. I doubt that Dean would want to watch this, because they run away from it. They run away from the truth.
And of course, he always overvalues his contribution. You know?
As we know he does, he overvalues his contributions big time.
Spendthrift, then he becomes very angry.
He thinks everything's like he does is so amazing.
Violent, definitely aggressive. Rule number 2, the narcissist resents it when you force him to act.
This is Ricardo.
Act in any way. But he is especially...
Oh, well, just again, look at him, come up with your own shit, Dean. Come up with your own shit, mate. Because I was honest. Look at this. All he's got on me is that I fell over and hit my head once. Can you believe this? Ricardo destroys the herpes daily. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, mate. Yeah. Okie doke. I mean, if you want to class that as destroying the herpes, then go well for it. Because all he does is show himself. I don't even bother interacting with him anymore, because there's no need. He just shows himself. He can't not do it. So I'll just leave him to it. You know what I mean? But I will mention it when certain narc things come up in this, because it's stuff like that. Like I've said before, they're so predictable. This guy's right. You know, there are rules that they run by. It's so predictable. So the class lector, he's a professor. But he's a professor of like physics or something. He's not a professor of psychology, but he's amazing. He's a self-admitted narcissist of his own, and he's just done so much. He is definitely the best person. There's so much shit on the internet about narcissism at the moment, because it's a big thing and everyone's into it. But he was the guy who brought it to the table, and he's the original, and he has got all the fucking goods. Everybody else is just a pale fucking piece of shit compared to him, in my opinion. So if anybody's interested in narcissism, fuck the rest of them and just watch this guy, in my opinion, because he's just got everything that you need. Yeah. What's a Herbie Derby? This has got to be Canadian Gamer. This has got to be. How can anyone tell what Ricardo? I can tell what he says. I actually really liked Ricardo for a really long time. I still do, in a way. I still think he's all right. You know, it's just that he can't get past his CPSTD. You know, whatever that is, he can't get past it. So I'm not going to take responsibility for his pain anymore. Even if he wants to put it on me, you know, I'm not going to do it.
as disrespectful of his resources and wasteful, then the again becomes.
The reason I brought Ricardo up though was because he says about you can't. They really resent it if they have to do something that you've asked them to do. So you ask him to look at the chat, you ask him to answer one of your messages, you ask him to do any of the things that he said he wants to do that then you set up, and then he comes to do it, and then it's all like, oh, you know, like just wanting to get the attention, really. Yeah, Harold, he couldn't he? But again, he's on a bit of a loop as well. You know, it's Ricardo's a very creative person, and I think he's got a lot more going for him than Dean. But he is definitely massively climbed. He's a massive narc, massive, and massively delusional in his own way. But I think he knows a bit of an idea of what's going on. And there is a video actually this guy put out, and it's pretty much Ricardo, the whole thing. And so I was going to mirror that one actually. But this is the latest video, and I just found it really interesting because it talks about how they do their sexual relations, basically, which I've always been interested in. With like the whole thing with, I'm not that interested in that way, but like the whole thing with Dean and Shaniqua and all that. Angela, sorry, it's just fucked up.
And even sadistic. 2 simple rules.
Oh, because he tried calling me a snake and all that, and I think he called me an alien because I told him straight when he decided to fucking go behind those idiots. You know, when he decided to throw everyone under the bus and just become a card carrying fucking Dean and fucking Albert arse kisser, and letting them like handle his affairs for him, because up to then he'd let Albert and Volpe handle his affairs, and then he was letting, oh, I'm the biggest narcissist of them all, am I? Oh, am I really? Okay, well, prove it then. Prove it. I've said before, we're all narcissists, mate. Dean, we're all narcissists up to a point, but some people are human as well. So, because the thing is, you see, is that this is why I'm even doing this stuff, is because narcissism is a pandemic. It is the pandemic we need to worry about. You see, narcissism, through CPSTD, is you basically putting a screen in front of reality and having a fake character. So what are we doing right now? We've got a screen in front of us and we've got an avatar, right? So we are all acting at some level narcissistically at this point. Oh my God, Dean, you are so pathetic. My God. Look at this. In fact, I'll leave you up because you are going to be the example. Here we've got an example. I'm going to play the video and you can just watch this reasons messages, and it will literally tell you, because as the guy says, highly predictable people. So let's just watch this and watch what Reasons says, and his repetitive attacks against me, his propaganda and his smears. Let's just see what happens.
The narcissist brings to the table is a divine endowment, and you should treat it as such. Number 2, do not force a narcissist to do anything, let alone do not force a narcissist to act in ways which he deems to be less suboptimal, less than optimal.
This is what happened to Rabbit Dude, obviously.
Now, if you put these 2 rules together, these 2 heuristic behavioral rules that the narcissist abides by, that drive the narcissist and motivate it, if you put them together, this could help you to disentangle and decode many of the narcissist's apparent, mutually exclusive, contradictory, crazy-making behavior. So, imagine a miracle. Imagine a piece of
just going to let the cat out 2 seconds.
Imagine, in short, an honest narcissist. An oxymoron, I know. Okay. Imagine an honest narcissist who is also willing to talk, also willing to confess and confide and admit, self-analyze, and some modicum of self-awareness and so forth. There are a few of those online, but I am extremely doubtful about their claims. They, in my view, are all mass manipulated. Okay, so imagine you come across someone like that, and you ask, and you're a good friend, you're a lover, you're an intimate partner, you're the narcissist's child, you're his spouse, you're his work wife, you're his colleague, you're someone within the narcissist life that is supposed to be a
Is anyone left? Oh, hello.
So imagine that you ask the narcissist, do you care about me? And this is an honest narcissist. There's one in one thing. So the narcissist says, I do care about you.
So he brings in
You're
Vic,
useful to me.
one of his old, worn out
This is a shocking
people
answer.
to hide behind. Here we go.
Indignantly. But don't you have emotions for me? And the narcissist, the honest narcissist, reflects on this.
So, Dean, one of the ways you could actually get better with this is actually if you became an honest narcissist and you try to be honest about it with people, you know, then you can actually shine a light on it. And you might, oh, you're the one with CTE, mate, come up with your own shit. Because you're the one who's had too many strikes to the head with the fucking chair for your plastic belt. And also, you're using the insults that people have used on you, which are contextual, yeah? Because you're the one with the fake fucking wrestling career. You're the one with the just all of that shit. And so now you're trying to turn it on me. Oh, dear me. Well, carry on, mate, because you're just showing yourself. You can tell it's Dean Cart. They're very boring and they're old, really old. None of them have come from him. It's just the same old shit from a year ago. Here we go, look. Preposterous. That came from Albert. So come up with your own shit, mate. Come on, I'm still waiting.
I don't do emotions.
Who are you going to hide behind next?
I do business.
Just listen to this, Dean. It might actually help you.
Now it's your turn to be indignant. So why do you want to stay in touch with me, you ask? And the narcissist says,
oh, massively failed YouTuber.
Well,
massively failed. This is what a lot of this comes from because he's so obsessed. He's put so much investment into it. I mean, it's his whole basis of his fucking relationship with his son. You know, it's the only thing he's got to offer to him. Otherwise, it's like, he's like, come on, kid, you can still be my friend. I've fucked you off. I abandoned you when you needed me. And I know that's going to have really fucked you. You know, it's got all this deep-seated shit. And he's like, come on, kid, come on. I'll get a plaque for you. We'll be YouTubers. We'll be YouTubers. I'm not just a butt wiper, son. I'm still waiting for you to actually admit you've got a kid, you fucking idiot. No, mate. I'm still waiting for you to understand what the difference, what fucking time zones are. In fact, I'm not even going to answer your boring messages anymore. I'm just going to let you do them so we can watch them.
Or interpersonal relationships, or human interaction. It's basically some kind of deal, the art of the deal, some kind of transaction, some kind of business. Ask me.
This is Litter Robot, the highest rated self-cleaning litter box that removes the chore of scooping.
Or you could let your cat out.
Let's take an example, which is really outlandish, but absolutely true. One of the major motivating forces in the human psyche, the human psychology, is sex. Freud actually believes
you won't be watching this bit.
Emanation or manifestation or transmutation.
Watch this. Watch and learn.
He later gave up on this notion.
Oh yeah, your famous meltdown problem. No, what happened there was I had a normal dramatic reaction, which I thought would be quite amusing to put on a stream on a video, and I had to keep my voice down because I was on holiday and I had to share the room with my kid. So he was asleep because unlike you just can't get through your CTE head. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, so I kept my voice down, so it sounded like even worse. But do you know what? It was just a drama thing, and I hate my more projection. I don't even need to respond to that. That's pure projection. I'm not the one. I do stuff with my kid all the time. I was on holiday for a whole week last week with him. When have you been on holiday? When do you ever go away? You are just constantly on every single stream creating hate. Instead, because you don't have your kid there, because you literally signed him away. Anyway, I'm not even going to bother. And also, you've been telling people that I've got a screaming kid in my streams, which is absolute lies.
Imagine the moment.
Where's the kid now? Can you hear him?
To have sex. It's autoerotic sex. It's kind of deformed.
Yeah,
sex.
you autoerotic bastard.
It's not anything you would recognize by the word sex. But okay, that's his version of sex. That's how he perceives is innate.
Exactly.
He wants to
Exactly,
have
John
sex.
Kingsley's own channel.
So
Exactly.
what the narcissist would do, especially if it's a psychopathic narcissist, he would turn on the superficial charm. He would flirt. He would love bomb. He would idealize it. All these in order to get in your pants. So this is typical behavior. It's normal, a normal sexual streak. And in this sense, the narcissist is indistinguishable from healthy, normal people.
Oh, big warning. Why? What are you going to do?
Which
What are you going to do?
apart from the rest
Come on,
of
tell
the
me. Give me a threat then. What is it you're going to do then? Come on.
It's the core orientation.
Because you start with me and mate, or you're going to get absolutely ripped. You will be eliminated.
The circumstance prevent him from having sex with you. If he were to decide that sex is not on the cards for whatever reason,
He's trying to, yeah,
that he
because he's just promoting his
even though he
propaganda
fervently
and trying
desires
to rule by fear. He's an idiot. I'm not Rabbit Dude, mate. You can't do it to me. You haven't got my address.
the flip of a coin, the narcissist becomes indifferent, dismissive, bored, and impatient with you.
Poor Angela.
You could be the most drop-dead gorgeous man or woman, depending on the sexual orientation. You could be the most drop-dead gorgeous sexual object, sexy person, amazing, and fully interested in the narcissist, into the narcissist. You want to have sex with the narcissist. And the narcissist wants to have sex with you. There's mutual attraction, irresistibility. And yet, the circumstances are such that you cannot have sex. I can think of 100 situations where you cannot have sex. You are mutually attracted, though you are attractive and
Sorry about that, guys. That was the
crazy
microphone.
you and desires you and is passionate about you and not, but for some reason you cannot have sex. While the normal healthy person would continue to be attracted, would probably continue.
Yeah, he'll be like, oh, sorry, not tonight, love. I've got to watch a CPE stream. I've got to make up shit about a random person on the other side of the world who I don't know. Sorry, love, not tonight.
Fantasize about being with them. The narcissist would simply turn you off, switch you off. All his cravings and desires and passions will vanish, will evaporate in a split second. The minute he reaches the conclusion,
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we're all particularly healthy. Anyone is, really.
There's no transaction to be had. All his behaviors, his state of mind, his urges, his drives, his motivations, his passion, his intentionality, the total internal landscape and behavioral outward public-facing behavior, all of them would change super dramatically, radically, as if it were not the
I want to help rather than hurt. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing. Obviously, with Dean, I have to be aggressive with him because he's just. At first, I tried to outreach to him. I really did. Whereas, like, say hiya, he's way more responsive.
unique.
Yeah, that's it. That's why. That's literally why I supported him, because he just needed a bit of extra support because he was on his own. He was out on a limb, and I just think that he just needed a little bit of extra, just from the point of view of he came in and he had his own photo, his own name, and he talked about his past, and he said about some really hard stuff that had gone on in his past, and so I knew that he was hurting because of the stuff that he'd said and the abuse that he'd been through. So I was like, I'm open to helping and to be there for people, just being a friend, not even a friend, but just like, just being a supportive, just not being a nasty bastard trying to rip the shit out of people, going back into people's lives. And when they've obviously had messed up relationships in the past, that's what I said to Hyatt. It's like, obviously you guys have had a messed up relationship when you were young, not my circus, not my monkeys, but if that lady wants to come and put her word across, of course I would let her come and say her piece. Of course I would. But that's where I've left it. I'm not obsessing over someone else's fucking past life. Like, it's really not my thing at all.
It's unique. This ability to transition from state A to state minus A,
I don't know about
the diametrical opposite. is unique to narcissists and psychopaths. It's because they're not emotionally.
Yeah, I was going to, but it was because you
It's goal
you got back into the same thing. No, it's not. What I can't handle, Dean, is that you're so unimaginative. You're so repetitive. You've made those points multiple times and you're still making them. If you're going to make the same points that you've already made, that counts as spamming. And to be fair, you're banned from this channel. The only reason I'm leaving you to even fucking do your shit is because, one, I know you're a fucking lonely ass bastard. And two, you need to fucking hear this shit, mate. Listen to it. Listen to this, honestly. It will help you. I'm not like you. I'm not doing this to attack you. I'm doing this so you might actually see some fucking light. And poor old Angela might get a bit of a fucking rest from your shit.
It's transaction based. And if a transaction cannot be had, and the deal cannot be concluded, and the goal cannot be accomplished,
oh, this guy's desperate as fuck, mate. Absolutely desperate.
Why waste scarce, valuable resources on something that cannot yield any outcome? As far as the narcissist is concerned, flirting with you is hard labor, is work, is investment. It's,
this is like the Robin Hood thing.
Love bombing, idealizing, flirting, they're all means to an end. In the end, it's a shared fantasy. Not even the sex, by the way. A shared fantasy that is attendant upon the sex, that is connected to the sex. The sex is just an instrument to kind of affirm and buttress the shared fantasy. But if a narcissist, when the narcissist or the psychopath reach a conclusion that, nothing to be done with you, they lose all interest in you. All interest in you. It's as if you don't exist, transparent. They see through you. It's a very disconcerting experience.
Has anyone ever had that happen to him? It's happened to me before.
Negated. You're being eliminated. Cognitively, at least. It's as if
and I think I might have done it to someone else before as well, in the past.
Your existence is a kind of self-deception.
A long time ago when I was younger and a bit more because I was in a narcissistic abusive relationship a long time ago and I got an overlay on me. But what I think happened to me was I locked it away rather than just killing myself off. And I think that's the difference between someone who's like a full-on, fucked up, can't get their head out of their own arse narcissist, and someone who's just had a really shit time and is a bit shut down and is kind of really fucking shut down. But you realise and you're just like, oh, I really can't fucking make these connections with people the same now. I'm so defensive. And then you start undoing it, because you realise that you're being a dickhead. And that was a long time ago, and I've spent a long time doing that. So you can call me what you want, because at least I'm fucking trying to sort myself out. I'm not going around doing what you're doing.
The abruptness of the transition is very destabilizing, because you begin to doubt your judgment of people, the perception of reality. It's a form of behavioral gaslighting, in effect. So this is an example based on sex, but the same applies to everything.
Oh my God,
the narcissist.
Same shit. Look, repetitive, predictable. Just watch and keep your mouth shut, Dean, and just watch the guy. Just watch him. Thank you very much, Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel. Yeah, we do care. I do care. You've got to help, haven't you? You've got to help. Try and help.
Have a great time.
And have a laugh while you do it. Do you know what I mean?
Best friends. But the narcissist is best friends in order to accomplish something which is ulterior, which is external to the friendship. It's a transaction. And the minute the narcissist reaches a conclusion that you are not of no further use, there's no utility, or even worse, you're somewhat detrimental.
I think the closest recent example of this for me is Ricardo with me, but I think that was way more targeted and a bit different. And because I was a threat to him and he wanted rid of me, whereas I think the other recent example I'd say is Dean and Rabbit Dude on this one. Oh, thank you very much. I've not checked your channel out. I will check it out. Yeah, I love abstract stuff, and anyone who's creative and artistic, like that was another reason, like, you know, Hayat was creative as well. So that's why another reason why
The damaging. The narcissist
I
drops
supported
you
him at that point.
like a hot potato. Simply, you don't exist anymore. You're gone. You're deleted. Even your memory is deleted. And
This is what he did to
from one
Ricardo as
minute
well.
to the next. And I'm kidding you not. This is not a hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration.
What are your plans this weekend? Binging your favourite TV show?
I'll probably do something
Shopping.
with my kid
Do-
all weekend,
One
taking
minute
him out
you are his
places
best friend,
and doing
most
things with my
intimate,
son.
most
I wonder what
invested in
Dean's
you,
plans for the weekend are going to be.
he likes you.
He is the granddaddy of narcissism, mate. This guy, he's the he was the guy who brought it all to the table. He was the guy who made it popular. So he's the original. He's a scientist, yeah. He does his thing at the beginning. He's like he's massively professional in the world of narcissism. But he's also a professor.
And the next, you're gone. You're very ancient, boring, wasteful history. You're consuming his scarce resources. You're wasting his time. You're imposing on him. You're annoying. You're a nuisance. You're a threat. It's even worse.
Yeah, that's Ricardo.
You're out of his life. You've never
Am I
been.
attracted to... Ugh.
He erases
You know the answer to that, mate.
history, everything. He
Ugh.
applies in sex,
Clammy,
sexual
soft white underbelly, fucking cold, horrible,
own children,
greasy, smelly, horrible, crusty beard and fucking
same with his
old vape
so-called intimate partners.
residue all over his sweaty fucking.
I call them insignificant partners. And all this is ruled, all this is governed, all this is directed and guided by the two principles. Optimize allocation of resources, invest them where they provide yield.
This is a key point, this. Key point. This really did strike home when I watched this earlier. It's about, and it just shows you that it's an evolutionary thing for people who had a bad time, because they're trying to optimize the resources for themselves, because obviously they were neglected for so long or treated so badly, so the resources to them were so scarce, and everything was like, there was no love, there was no nothing, and so they have to be so grabby emotionally. Well, I'm sure he's made all sorts of fucking stories up.
Says the narcissist, do not allow yourself to be forced.
Yeah, not my type, love, not my type.
I'm optimizing my resources, and investing in you would be a waste, so I'm no longer investing in you. And you can't force me to act in a way that is wasteful.
That's Ricardo.
If you do, if you have demands, if you have complaints, if you have grievances, if you mourn and grieve what we had together, if you keep consuming my time and attention.
Doshin, you should listen to this as well, because this is going to happen to you at some point.
The deal is broken, then you're in position, you're being aggressive.
Well, maybe. It's just that I don't think Ricardo's ever going to get another shiny, so maybe not.
Cold, distant, absent, frustrating, sadistic, and aggressive in return. These are the two governing principles. So, if you want the narcissist to remain in your life, you need to keep giving.
This is what Doshin does.
You need to convince the narcissist time and again, minute by minute, day by day.
See, it's gone down to 3 viewers. None of them can fucking stand it. They can't stand to hear the truth. None of them. This is just pure truth, guys. Pure truth from a professional who knows exactly what he's fucking talking about. And you don't want to see it here. You don't want to see it.
Maintain the relationship should proceed at a pace, because the relationship is a net yielder. The reward exceeds the cost. It's very businessman, like in business school. So, because this is the case, because there's no commitment or investment or attachment or bonding or any of this, forget of it. None of this applies to the narcissist.
You want to learn how to
too many adverts though.
Opportunities like the one I'm at now. There are 3 main ways. One,
it's a calculus, it's a ledger, it's financial statement. It's the bottom line. Think business. Because this is the case, the narcissist and the psychopath are motivated strictly and only and exclusively, you hear me? Only, as in exclusively, as in strictly, as in no other way. They're motivated by opportunities. They're opportunists.
Mm-hmm.
They have no loyalty,
Amen.
no fidelity,
Amen.
no commitment. They're perfidious in this sense. They're disloyal. They betray easily.
Oh, I've got videos explaining
Then they
that.
want to eliminate you because
I'll show you a video at the end of this.
you're loss center. You disrupt the bottom line. They want to eliminate you. They become super violent, super malicious. There's no hint of recollection of the past. There's no kind of credit. You don't get credit for having been nice to them, for having been.
And that's how I know I'm not a full
for
on
having worked with them for years.
narc or any of that, because I don't operate like that. I don't operate like that at all.
With a higher.
Because I'm not an idiot. I do sit and look at this stuff and go, okay, where does this refer to me? Where does it refer to me? Of course I do.
If you've never
And some of it does. But I know I'm not as bad as Dean, and I know I'm not a fucking full on narc. I know I'm not, because of things like that. I do have a memory. I do know who I am. I do remember things. I remember the people who helped me. I remember the people who didn't help me. I care about the people who I care about, and I really do genuinely love the people who I love and care about the people who I care about. It has a feeling inside me, and I can feel it. That's how I know I'm not like Dean. So he can say what he wants.
Very long memories. They hold grudges for years and decades.
Now, when it comes to grudges, I can hold a grudge, but it's intentional and I choose to do it. It's not like I'm not like sat there getting pissed off about someone and getting like really fired up about something that happened in the past. Ever. That just doesn't happen to me. But I will choose to cognitively hold on to stuff like the whole you can forgive but you don't forget. That's kind of where I'm at with stuff. I won't forget, and I'll remind myself, and I'll keep little fucking things to remind me to don't forget that this person is a fucking bastard, and there'll be a little thing to remind me not to get sucked back in again, because that's the sort of shit that I'll do, and I know I'm not, because otherwise I'd be opportunistically going around trying to get these relationships with people based on Fraggle Rock, Game of Thrones bullshit, and it's just not true. It's just not true.
To plead, to bargain,
but we see it indeed all the time, don't we? See, with Ricardo, I don't see that. I don't see that level of manipulation with people. I think he does genuinely care about people when he does, but I think his level of care is very based around safety and based around someone protecting him, and that's why he loves Evil so much.
Walk away. No contact. It's the only solution.
Not because Evil will protect him, but because he thinks he might.
The narcissist and the psychopath are opportunists.
Because he knows that Evil's a very strong person and a very strong character in our community, so that's what I mean. Not that Evil himself is protecting him, it's just the idea of him. He's very, very useful to Ricardo.
You're an internal object. You're a toy. They don't do emotions. They don't even do cognitions. Their cognition is distorted. They have no social mores, no morality, no nothing, no guiding principles, no religion, no belief, no faith, no nothing. Narcissist and psychopath have an inner, optimizing, maximizing compass. More narcissistic supply in the case of the narcissist.
Yeah, it's never enough for him. We've seen that.
More money, more sex, more access, more power in the case of the psychopath. More. It's a principle of growth which characterizes modern economies, modern civilization, which is why modern civilization is essentially narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's transaction oriented.
So we're all narcissists at some level.
That we should grow all the time. Growth. So narcissists and psychopaths are growth oriented. They lose all interest when there's no opportunity. When no opportunity presents itself, the gun, the history, they vanish in a whiff of sulfur, as someone has written to me. the other day. Okay. Similarly, narcissists and psychopaths will disengage physically and mentally and move on once a task has been accomplished. Like, okay,
Amen to
mission
that.
accomplished. Why
I've
should
seen
we
that
linger?
indeed many, many
Why
times.
should we engage in social niceties? Why should we have small talk? Why should we display fake interest in other people? The whole human dimension is missing. There's something to do, even maybe something to do with other people together in a collaboration. We do it, we're gone.
I need to find the best way to learn math and science. It's brilliant, that order.
When it's accomplished, when it's in the bag, when it's in the bank, narcissists and psychopaths are gone. In so-called romantic and intimate relationships, this is the kind of transactionalism that goes on day in and day out. The narcissist wakes up in the morning and his first question is, how is my bottom line with my partner, with my intimate partner? With my
Now,
partner?
I've been in that position a long
With a
time
woman
ago. A
supposedly
long
what?
time
With a
ago
man
with a relationship
supposedly
I was in, I was like that.
What is my bottom
A
line?
little bit. A little
Do they
bit.
begin
But
to
it wasn't
bore me?
entirely like I
criticize
never got
you?
to
Do they
that
disagree with
point.
Do they?
I can handle people boring me. I could handle people criticizing me. Do you know what I mean? But I remember that, you know. But I think isn't that natural just to worry about how your relationship's going, make sure they're all right, you know, and be like, oh, wait. But like first thing in the morning, the first thing you think is like, you know, like he says, your bottom line. Where's his goals? What's he gonna do? What's his flow diagram at? You know, is that thing still fucking working? Like in fucking Oblivion, innit? Are they an effective team? It's all that shit. Has he got people under his fucking thumb? How's Albert doing? You know, it's all that shit. That's what is going around his head all the fucking time. Whereas for me, it's really just not that at all.
Not obey me, disobey me. Do they? Gone. They're gone.
Yeah, do they obey me? Do they
You're
disobey me?
right,
I never
Father.
really thought along those
You're
lines with
right.
anybody. It's like everyone's their own
They-
person, aren't they? That
because
maybe one day they
of
will
the
disobey you, maybe they won't the next day. Who
exceeds
knows what's going to
you.
happen? That's life, isn't it?
The outcome of the relationship,
It don't
the
matter.
narcissist is out of your life. It's one way to get rid of narcissists, by the way.
That's
To
never
force
going to work
them-
for us,
to force the
unfortunately.
maintenance fee up so dramatically that the narcissist will disengage on his own accord. Narcissists utterly, and psychopaths, are utterly uninterested in other people. They find other people stupendiously, stupefyingly stupid.
I
and
wonder
boring.
if that's why he projects being so
It's,
stupid and boring as
what's in
well.
it
Or
for
maybe
me?
he just is stupid and boring, but
When narcissists
he
or
projects it a
psychopaths
lot.
come across another person, first question is, what's in it for me?
Mm-hmm. You
Who
see that
cares
in here,
about that
don't you?
person? That's
I
what
call
want
that.
person.
I've said that before with those guys. And also you get that with addicts as well. But like I've seen that with those guys, and it's just what's in it for them. Definitely 100%. You can just see them. It's like a cartoon character with the chicken in their eyes. You know, they see someone walk in a room and they see him with a roast chicken. And that's what I've said that for years. That's the same shit.
Predilections and proclivities and preferences and hopes and dreams. Who gives the, you know what, about any of this? Unless, of course, it's relevant to manipulating that person. Unless it affords a narcissist psychopath some kind of leverage to accomplish the goal. Otherwise, it's boring. Boring like in dull. It's bloody dull. So they avoid people as much as they can. They minimize interactions and interpersonal relationships to the transactional part. They're interested in other people, as I said, only if the information that could be gleaned could be then used or leveraged to manipulate the other person and accomplish outcomes. Functions, the functionality of people, the possible contribution of people matter a lot. That's why I keep telling you, narcissists don't choose their victims because of who they are. They choose their victims because of what they can extract from the victim, what they can get from the victim. Sex, supply,
He's a bit
sadistic or
SS.
narcissistic, services, and safety. Same with the psychopath.
If you look at those S's and you apply them to the PSG, you'll see some very interesting correlations.
Not because you're anything. who you are is irrelevant and not even noticed. Psychopath chooses you because what
I
you
hope
provide.
Robert he sees
You
this.
provide him with
I
money.
really
Can you
do.
steal your money? Great. Can you sleep with him? Excellent. 6. Can you provide him with access to other people, connections? Superb. Do you represent power? If he takes over you, does it make him more powerful? This is what drives these people, narcissists, experts. They're machines. They're devices, optimizing devices. They're programmed in a way. And this, even limited interest in other people's functions and contributions, even this ceases to exist, evaporates once the utility of these people is over. When these people are no longer useful, they are dropped abruptly. Everyone without exception in the narcissistic world is instrumentalized.
This is a key point coming up here.
And that, of course, includes all of you.
Oh, is it gone off? I think I must have missed a bit about the kids. But yeah, they do it to their
Have you had an
kids.
accident in the last 2 years?
They do. Oh, yes, I did actually. Ask Dean about it. Yeah. So that's that. That was that. So yeah, hopefully that was entertaining for some people. It was mainly for the PSG to watch, because if you can see what's going on, then that is the start. That is the start. And then you can just do what you want. Try and fix it between you, or at least protect yourself. You can predict what the narcissist is going to do so much. Dean is nothing if not predictable, really. Whereas Albert is not predictable. He's kind of predictable. Hey up, Q, yeah. He's kind of predictable. But yeah, I'm going to put on the video that explains who I am. Kinda. I should do another one maybe at some point. And then I might fuck off because I've done my bit. See if I can find it. It's somewhere in here. Because Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel was wondering, and I thought I would just put it on because this video is always worth another play every time. If I can find it. Surely it's not all this way back. Really? Where is it? Do you know what? I'm just going to search my own video. Who the fuck is Coab in it? Did you hear what I said, Kiri? I've got kittens. I was trying to draw him out with my kittens. I've got kittens. I've got kittens. In fact, I might actually be able to put the video on. Oh no. Go away. Oh, I haven't uploaded it, sadly. I thought I had. Oh, I have. So we can play this. It's very, very quiet. And you have to turn your volumes up, I think. Hang on, let me pause it. Share screen. Okay. And there's nothing to see here, really. It's just the volume. It's just the sound. But you ready? I'll turn it up a bit on the line. Hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. But it's very much at the beginning. You got me at the end there. I thought I'd cut that bit out. Got me at the end there. Oh, it's only me. But yeah, she's got kittens, at least one. I've not seen them yet, so I'm quite happy about that. And then my videos, I don't even know what it... Oh, it's got to be in here somewhere. Oh. Here we are. Oh, shit. It's like 5 in the morning. I'm going to wake my kid up. And put it back down. So yeah, Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel. This is who I am. Oh, I can't wait to see these videos. If they're fucking crazy abstract videos, I'm well up for that. So yeah, hope you're still here. Don Kingsley's Donkey Kong channel. This one's for you. Hope volume's all right. Just once more. No, I haven't. Oh yeah, okay, we'll watch a little bit of it, yeah. Why not? Well up for it. My complexion waxy white, with the wide and goes with me when you're occupied, satisfied. It's wrong to scream and cry, and there's no need to lie. I might actually use this as an intro or something. Pick it out on me. Now you've done us what you are and what I am. Cigarettes, forgot about that. Touching nerve no longer. I can make your feeling disappear back in here. And if you fall behind, or when your state of mind is not what it should be, take it out on me. Now you're gonna see what you are and what I am. What you are and what I am. Yeah, man, let's watch it. Hey up, Hayat. Don Kingsley, Hayat's here, so you can talk to him about it. Right, let's watch. We're going to watch Don Kingsley's channel. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, maybe it's best if I don't share my screen at this point. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, let's watch the Candice one. Is it loud enough? Okay. That's not it. That's it. Are we ready? So let's watch one. I'm looking forward to it because I'm always up for seeing another creative person.
Okay.
And tonight, we bring you a breathtaking story. The story of a woman who has shown outstanding bravery.
sat on the story for years. Now, we
Brilliant.
can exclusively report she is anonymously sending pictures of her pussy, well, pussy cat, that is, all over the YouTube platform. The Royal Canadian Police are finding her story to be extremely laughable. So, who wants some pictures of pussy? This is the true story of Sully and the Bee.
Okay.
But I'm excited at the same time, so I'm just gonna.
Aww.
I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just wanna hug
Aww.
every cat. Every cat. So anyway, I am a cat lover and I love to run.
Oh, I can hear my kid getting up, so I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Love cats.
It's like 10 to 6 in the morning, she's gonna get up now. But thank you for coming out and this ghost stream. But yeah, alright guys, sorry to turn Candice off, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to. But I will watch some more Don Kingsley another night. Hang on a sec. Right, so I'm gonna get off now. And yeah, thank you all for coming. And sorry, it wasn't much of a ghost stream. It was more of a narc stream in the end. But please do check out Sam Backnin. I'll put a link to that video that we watched in the description. All his stuff is absolutely banging. And I'll see you again another time. Bye.